Welcome back to Exactly What I'm Saying. Today's guest is a lover of comics, conventions, and community. He is an amazing father, husband, and friend. And if you've ever been to a Phish show, especially in the area, there's a really good chance you've crossed his path. I'd like to introduce you all to my friend, Jon High. Man, I know you said you were nervous, and
I'm
me too.
Not as nervous as I was 25 minutes ago, though. This is cool. Yeah, man.
Good, man. Yeah, I tried to make like cozy vibes.
Yeah, well, you're a cozy guy, so
Yeah.
I knew that once we kind of came in and talked a little bit, it would put me at ease a little bit.
And like, so you were like saying you felt bad, and like honestly, I was like starting to say this a second ago. Like, I want this to be a thing where people want to come on, but people that like all I ever wanted it to be was like an excuse to get to hang out with someone that I already enjoy hanging out with, or someone that I want to get to know better.
Sure, and actually, I really appreciate what you had said through our, correspondence was look at it as like a cool hang.
Yeah.
And so those were those things that that kind of puts you at ease. Like, you said things like, it's like buzzwords. You're like low stakes, cool hang.
Yeah.
I can do those things. I'm good at those things, I think.
Good. Yeah, and that's like not only, I mean, I guess I was using that as a way to try to like ease nerves, but also it was just like genuinely the truth. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was just saying that.
No, exactly. It was, I know you nothing but very of a genuine person, so I knew that it wasn't just like for my sake, that it was like exactly that, genuine.
Yeah, and that's like another point on like other podcasts that often interview famous people. When they occasionally bring on the not famous person, I feel like you get so much more of a genuine and transparent.
Sure, because there's a lot of curiosity
vibe.
there.
Yeah,
I think, and the curiosity makes the listener curious, and like we were kind of talking about before of how informative those things can be, and the things that you can learn through a channel that you wouldn't have necessarily gone down. You're like, well, I think I know something about neuroscience or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're like, this is very interesting, and it makes you almost listen a little harder than you would if it's just like somebody's asking Brad Pitt a bunch of questions.
Yeah, and it's cool, and I want to promote people that are like, musicians that have a new album coming, or I want to promote people that like have a small business and I want to connect the community in that way, but I also just want to like boost up. Because you said, like, I don't have anything to promote. And I was like, it's not about promoting anything.
Well, that's why I was like, once you were like,
community.
It seemed like you were into it, I was almost like,
you
wait
sure?
a minute. Was I serious? And I was like, yes, I think a giant part of me was very serious in wanting to do something like this. But I didn't want to, like, pry. And then I was like, man, I'm not anybody, I don't have much to talk about. And
Dude,
I mean,
you were Jon High. What are you talking about? You could talk for days.
I can talk for days.
I know you can.
For sure. I can talk for days.
And it's like you said, the headphones make you feel important. This makes you feel like important, and we're all important.
No,
and like
is cool.
this is like just we are the community.
This is very cool.
This
Although
is
it's
very
like
cool.
listening to yourself on an answering machine where you're like, man, is that what I sound like? That's kind of...
I know, it is like a little trippy.
I think you probably get used to it. I'm sure you're probably used to it. I mean,
I'm
you've done this a
getting
few
more
times now,
used to
and-
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's the editing process and like listening to myself talk and sometimes say the same sentence over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm like, God. But honestly, I've got friends. People seem to like my presence and stuff like that. So as I'm like overthinking everything that I say and I'm getting insecure listening to myself,
Sure.
I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this is like how I
Self-criticism.
always
Yeah.
talk. And if people don't hate me, then it
Right,
must not
you're
be
like,
that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it definitely is, it's weird. But, you know, maybe one day whenever I have a whole team, then I won't have to listen to myself.
Well,
I
man,
can have the editor.
be
do
proud
it.
of yourself, man, because you know, it seems like you're kind of early into this journey, but
Yeah.
man, I mean, look at this, what you've built here. I mean, it's cozy.
Yeah.
You have a good way. You just kind of hit it with, you know, you have friends. You are a cozy guy. You
Yeah,
are
thank
a
you,
very,
thank you.
very likable guy, and so.
So
I'm
are
proud of you, buddy.
Thank you.
This
I
is
really
really
do
cool,
appreciate
man.
that. It's
I can't wait to see where this goes for you. This is that have that creative force behind what you know you had an idea and you're going for it, man. That's
dude,
awesome.
thank you so much. And like, you know, we like we cozied up this space up here a little bit, but like one of the things that really, and I've said this before, I think on the podcast, but one of the things that made me decide to just go for it is the recording device down here that acts as an audio interface. The microphones and everything here except for the charging cables was $300. So it was like I started a podcast for $300.
And what was the learning curve there? I mean, how do you teach yourself the knowledge of this equipment?
Well, so
that would intimidate me. You'd be like, I don't even know what
it's
this
really simple. Basically, you're on the this is your cord. So like the microphones plug in here. We got our headphones down here. Each headphone is on its own volume. So like, see how you can't hear me anymore?
Yeah.
Each headphone's on its own volume. And each microphone is on its own setting as well. So like, let's say and I'm starting to figure out the sound aspect. This has been a big learning curve,
So
but
you're
I'm
still
not
learning, yeah.
like I want people to see how much better my editing is at episode 1, or how much better it is at episode 10 than it is at episode 1. Sure. I didn't let perfectionism or being like, oh man, like all of these things and comparing it to other podcasts, I didn't let those stop me from posting the first video.
Good.
Because trust me, I still wouldn't have posted one. And like, you know, like once I got so many recorded, I was like, I have to.
You're in a rhythm. You're starting to figure it out.
I'm starting to figure it out, and now I can edit really quick, and I don't stress out about making sure I re-listen to every single part of the episode. And I'm not cutting up, like, if I have a moment where, or you have a moment where we're like thinking and we're like, I don't cut that out. Because that is genuine. That is transparent. Yeah. And like, I don't need to save those 3 seconds. I don't need to save those 5 seconds. Sure. Somebody doesn't want to listen to it because it's 2 hours long. Well, whatever.
Right on.
Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah. Like, I come back to podcasts that I haven't finished. Like, you know, I will listen through the whole thing. Like, you know, I'll get 30 minutes on my way to work here, 30 minutes on my way home. Maybe I'll listen to some of it while and like, hopefully people will do that. And like, I just hope that they're not intimidated by the length and stuff like, I don't know. But hey,
man. Like
we're here, we're doing it. It's fun.
This is a
we're
cool
hanging.
hang.
This is a good hang.
We're hanging.
I wanted to ask you first. Well, actually, let me show you one more thing that this thing can do. Give me your best cheesy joke.
My best cheesy joke?
Yeah.
What's blue and not very heavy?
What?
Light blue. Classic.
I actually meant to hit this one. Oh, wait. That one. But
all of those would have worked.
All of those really.
Nice, though.
Yeah. The applause would have been good. So that's another thing that can do. And then I had one question. The real question that I wanted to get us started off with is, do you know what this song is about?
Out in the summer sky, 99
do. I know what it's sort of about.
You don't have to.
Nice callback here.
Dude, Steve, I was like talking to him.
I can't wait to get his I can't wait to call him on my way home. Oh my God.
Good. Whenever I started the question, did you have a feeling that that's what was coming?
I knew exactly what was coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt confident in myself there that I knew exactly what was coming, but I was kind of curious, like, wait a minute. How did you know? How do you know these things?
Yeah. I talked to people.
How do you know what you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I saw you guys. I knew that you guys knew each other better anyway, but then I saw y'all posted, and I was like, hey, give me something that I shouldn't know. But it's like common knowledge, but it would make sense that I didn't know.
That's so good. That's so good. He got me. Wow, he's up on me on that one. Because, I mean, that's such a long running joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known that guy for years and years and years, and I don't even know. It was something that was said one day, and we ran with it to the point of obsession. I've called him on my way home. He's called me from across the country. We would run each other down at work, and stop what we were doing and be like, to see who could find each other first.
To be like, do you know what this song is about?
It's unbelievable. It's so funny.
That
inside joke has kind of transcended to what it is.
Yeah, I know. He was cracking up, and he was like, I don't know. He was like, you have to do it. And as much as it meant to him, I was like, okay, I'll
awesome.
make sure it happens.
Wow.
But anyways, do you keep in touch with the police officer that delivered your baby?
No.
You don't?
No, and here's why. A police officer did not deliver my baby.
What? Wait, okay, so what happened there?
My wife delivered the baby herself in the backseat of my car while speeding down 65.
65 south, or were you headed towards
south,
Louisville?
Yeah, so it was funny because when we left the house that night, she was probably in labor when we went to bed that night.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of back pain and just things going on. And I was kind of like, man, but I don't, what do I know? She's a childbirth educator, so I was like, she would know more than I. I'm just gonna vibe off of her, and if she's wanting to go to bed, we'll go to bed. Well, rise and shine. It was like, hey, it's time to go. So it's like, you grab your bag and you go, and I'm fumbling, calling my mom and whoever I think to call. Of course, mom, like, hey, it's happening. And even my mom was like, I could hear it in her voice. She was like, good luck. Cause she knew, that maybe we had left too late. Maybe I could just kind of hear it in her voice, but I was so high on adrenaline and worry and panic and all of these things. And out the door we go, and I'm flying down all these major thoroughfares and, and it was like, I'm just going off what I hear in the backseat.
Which isn't good.
But I trust in her because she's very knowledgeable. And I had trust, but at the same time, it's natural to worry and have this panic. And, our plan was to go to Clark Memorial just across the bridge in Indiana because that was what she liked and all of the, the nurses there, and she just liked the program there.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. They were great. But it was a little not great when you're passing, we're literally going around Hospital Curve there on 65. I'm passing hospitals.
Seeing it.
While my wife is giving birth in the backseat of my car. And so it's like, I'm asking, do I need to pull over? What do I do? What do you want me to do? Coach me. And she's just like, keep going, keep going,
just
keep
don't
going.
Stop
and
the
then
car.
when you hear the baby start crying, you're like, dude, it was...
Did she say that? Oh, no, you just heard the baby
I just
start
all of a
crying.
sudden, you're like, oh, the baby's out in here and crying, and it was like, oh my God. Like, and then that panic that's here at a level, 10 already is now at 100.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh my
stuff needs to be
should
done.
I stop now?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no. And it's like, you know, we need professionals. We need an ambulance. We need doctors and nurses and people.
Like, I think I have a pair of scissors in the glove
It
box.
was
Other than
unbelievable,
that,
man.
like, we don't have anything.
And so, you know, what's funny is you know, it's just like out of a movie, man. I remember like it was yesterday. You've seen it 100 times in a movie. You whip around, and if someone's going to the ER, they whip around in the ER. You got the big emergency lights up, and you're under the thing, and you jump out of the car, and I don't even close my car door, and I run into this emergency room, and there is no one in there.
What?
Nobody waiting, nobody behind a counter, nobody is anywhere. And I was kind of like taken aback, like, what the... It was like Twilight Zone.
Like,
and so I just start going, help, help. I start like kind of screaming help, and I'm like banging on this door that like a nurse would come out and call your name. I'm like knocking on this door, and this nurse comes, and she's looking at me like, well, who the hell are you? What's wrong? I'm like, hey, my wife just gave birth to a baby in the backseat of my car. And dude, it was like the intro to the Chicago Bulls. It was like, you know, the door opens and all of these people run out. It was like some wheelchairs and doctors and nurses, and they're like, it was like crazy. I felt like I was like on a prank show. And
the time probably felt like it was in slow motion a little bit.
It was insane. And so they all rush out to her. I'm just kind of like out there. And at that point, I'm kind of back down to here because I'm like, okay, we've got nurses and doctors and people who know what to do in this situation.
And you're like, I have a baby now.
and
like the baby is here.
And the baby is here. And Christy, my wife, you know, the mom, she was all smiles and seemed she was.
Yeah.
It's like, man, in that moment, it's like you think you respect somebody. And man, my appreciation and respect for that woman went to just the moon. And you're like, oh my God, how did you do this?
I can only imagine.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was, and then they're like, here's some towels to clean up the back of your car. And I'm like, oh yeah. There's a bunch going on in the back of my car. So yeah, no, there is nobody to keep in touch with. It was such a surreal.
So did she like catch it?
Man, yeah. I mean, she was, and it wasn't like, you know, like you see on TV. It wasn't like shouts of pain and agony. It wasn't like that. It was just a lot of like, you know, you hear obviously commotion and grunting and panting and pushing and whatever, you know, and it wasn't enough to like really scare you. I was already scared, of course, but I just knew, I trust her. And
yeah.
So I was like,
she said, keep going. So I'm going to keep going.
And then you hear the baby but it just made it made such a real situation so much more real.
You're just
like, it was unbelievable.
Oh.
So it was, and it was just, dude, it was, I mean, that story made the news all over the world. It made news like on Good Morning America in Australia, which we thought was so funny.
Crazy.
Dude, it was insane.
Well, I mean, that is so freaking wild, dude.
Bro.
Honestly, I have much respect just knowing that. And like you being like all smiles in the back seat, I don't know that I would have been. I would have been like, thank freaking God.
Bro, I have a picture of her like, you know, throwing up rock hands in a wheelchair. Like the moment that like nurses and stuff got her out of the back of my car, like holding the baby, like
yeah, because she knew, she was like, I am a badass.
And I'm like, did anybody give me like a Valium or something? Like, hey, driver over here, nobody knows what I just went through.
Doctor.
Like, you kind of like get selfish in that moment. Like, I know she just birthed the baby in the backseat of a speeding car, but
I need a prescription.
The driver is going through it right now. Yeah,
hook me up to an IV, doc. I'm dehydrated.
That was an unbelievable thing.
Dude, that is amazing. How old is
He's 8 now. He'll be 9 in May.
Dude.
So
is that your only child?
No, our daughter was first. She just turned 12.
12.
So he was baby 2, which is probably what helped him come so fast. And
yeah, she kind of knew what to expect.
I mean, yeah, she knew exactly what to expect.
Did you guys do like a hospital birth the first time, or was it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So she had the epidural and everything.
Yeah, you know, much to her chagrin, you know, it was, you know, she was very much, you know, had, you know, Kentucky been a little more loosey goosey in their laws and stuff. She wanted a natural home birth or a water birth.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how
and
they
she
do it.
really wanted that, and that's kind of why we chose Clark Memorial, because they were able to kind of honor what your birth plan wanted to be. And so she was like, hey, this has to be the place. And I was like, hey,
She knew that baby was coming. She was like, that's why she
Yeah.
she was like, take a loop around the block. I want to have my natural birth, baby.
You say that, and there's a lot of people in the family that are like, yeah, I feel like you wanted it, and so she basically got what she wanted.
She waited to say it's time to leave.
Yeah, it was man, it was wild. So
dude, that's sick. Respect, Christy, dude.
It was
she
cool.
sounds like a
because we did that. It's
Rock on.
it's hypnosis. So it was this program called Hypno Babies that she actually became an instructor, and it's like birth by hypnosis, and it sounds insane saying it out loud. When you think about something like that, but it's like when you see it and you see how it works, like it makes a true believer out of you. I mean, we did that for our first child, and so we did that for Oliver, our second child.
Yeah.
And so she was really going through the things that to do. I mean, because you have to train your brain to do those things to make that work. So
yeah.
Again, it sounds insane, but it's very real, and all of the health and stuff that comes out of it is tenfold. I mean, it's all golden.
Dude, that's wild.
It's really cool.
That is really cool.
And so it's not like hypnosis like you think, like when you see like a magic show, like walk like a chicken, or walk like an Egyptian or something like that. I mean, it's that, but it's not that. It's like it's just buzzwords and keywords to program your brain. So I mean, it helps with pain. And
is there an aspect of breathing involved?
Oh
with it?
yeah, and it's all about all of these like affirmations that you kind of like say to yourself. And, as the mother who's giving birth and the partner too. So it's like, there's stuff that you don't say, you don't say, contractions, or, it's
more like trigger words, almost, for lack of better terms. Yeah.
Exactly. Cause like Christy's the kind of person, when we like watching TV and you see like this woman giving birth on TV or a movie or whatever it is, it's like, that's not true. And, and it sucks because that's what we all think, because that's what we see on TV, that like birth is like this agonizing pain, screaming, all of these things, and it's not that.
I mean, I'm sure it can be.
Sure.
Different experiences for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
sure. Absolutely.
They definitely put, like, there's not much representation of the full reality. There's that one it's a very negative.
Yeah, it's not like the super negative, but not like the most super positive. It's like they find that like common ground where, of course, mom and baby are always healthy in the end.
Yeah, they make it look horrible, but then everybody's smiling at the end. Sure. Yeah, they're not like catching the baby as it's coming out and smiling.
It's definitely nobody giving birth in the backseat of a car that's speeding.
Unless it's Talladega Nights.
I mean, I was like obviously I'm speeding, hoping that I would get like pulled over.
Like,
so that
escort
me. Yo, bro, like this is what's happening. Take me.
Yeah, in like that case, will be delivering the baby if this is.
In that case, I would be keeping in touch with somebody who.
Yeah, right. Well, damn, it sounds like what do y'all do? Like police.
Right. I was like, man, I was going 95 miles an hour from driveway to the emergency room.
You're like Tokyo drifting around Hospital Curve.
I'm like, man, I'm passing hospitals. I could have got off right here, but she's like, no,
Clark Memorial. Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, it was right there. So
yeah,
we
respect. So dude, that's so respect. Cool, man. So in a way, you keep in touch with the boss officer.
Yeah.
That's your wife.
Yeah.
Christy's the boss officer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're staying in touch.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you for sharing that story. That's so
I haven't talked
sick.
about that one in a long time, and it's always fun to relive that.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always fun with that one, because now I can like kind of laugh and actually like, I mean, like I said, it's like it happened yesterday, so I can actually relive those details, and it's like, it's fun.
Love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I remember like hearing about it or like vaguely knowing about it, but I never like heard the story. So I wanted to dive into that.
It's wild.
But so anyway, just a little switch of gears. I know you're into like comic books, the comic world, kind of like fantasy world, maybe. I don't know what I don't know how broad it goes, but so when you say that, is it like a Marvel DC, or does it include manga and like all the weird underground stuff that the mainstream has never heard of?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Marvel, DC is always, I read them. I love them.
Yeah.
I have my favorites. I have not really dove like into kind of manga or any kind of like graphic novel stuff.
Okay.
Not that there's no reason. Just haven't. I like to keep it to just the bare minimum of like a little 15-page, very colorful, flamboyant book.
Yeah.
And there's so many great characters up there. Of course you're gonna read Batman and Spider-Man and Superman, like the classics. But I do like to kind of find those like little niche,
because it's a big world.
thing. It's massive. And it's so much bigger today than it was when I started reading comic books when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's when you're 10 years old, it's like you just want to read Spider-Man and Superman and those things, and that's fun and it's all great. And those things, the fact that that stuff is still going. There's so many stories to tell. I think it's such a easy way to get ideas on paper is through comic books. And so, you're not going to run out of Spider-Man stories, and you're not going to run out of Batman stories. I mean, you can tell that stuff forever. But when you find stuff that's kind of, that's not Marvel DC, if you're talking, other publishers like Dynamite or Image or, whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So much cool stuff.
I really like buying. I've recently started buying. I really enjoy anime.
Okay.
I started with like watching. I've got a few mangas that I flipped through a little bit and read like a couple scenes here and there, but I've not read all the way through yet. I want to. I'm just like so. The hardest thing about reading for me is that I can't really multitask while doing it. And I'm so just like multitasking with it so much all the time.
Yeah.
Like even when I watch TV, I'm rarely just like staring at it. I'm folding laundry. I'm, cleaning the house.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
Background noise.
It's background noise where I'm like kind of paying attention. I might have moments like I'll stop and eat and then I'll be paying attention and then I'm off again.
Right.
But I've got a few. Dang it! I meant to bring it up, but I've got a few that just like from the cover look really cool.
Yeah.
And they're like weird, bizarre things. They're small, little 15 pages. Regardless, I like the artwork, and they're like $4 or $5 a piece.
Yeah.
They're cheap. They're like approachable. But do you watch anime at all?
No, anime is a medium I just couldn't get into, and I never understood why. I don't know if it is the art. I don't know what it is. The content is cool from what I can tell. I mean, and what I've picked up on. But something takes me out of it, and I couldn't ever pinpoint what it was.
I will say that like some of the art, it kind of took me finding one that I really connected with and enjoyed to open myself up to other animes. But I'm not like, I think a lot of people that I know that are into anime, they like will start naming off thousands of different shows and like they've seen every episode of every one. And
that is something people are super passionate about, which is great because when you have a passion about something, it's so much fun and it makes you defensive about it. And so like, I don't dive into that world, but I have seen where people are like, no, like this what I like is better than what you like.
Kind of like
just like anything else,
kind of like Marvel versus DC.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have my, I definitely have my feelings about both Marvel and DC.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite?
It's hard. I think DC has the better heroes, like superheroes. But Marvel is, I don't know. It has great heroes, but it's just a little more colorful. I think the storytelling is not as dark and brooding as DC can be, but I like that. I like to switch those extremes.
Yeah, totally.
You're reading a Batman comic, and then you turn around and you read a Spider-Man comic. It's not only is the content way different, the artwork, the feel of
Yes.
it. Everything is so much different.
Yes.
So
No, I love that. Yeah, I like not. I enjoy both. I enjoy, you know, I enjoy switching it up. I'm not just like so.
yeah, I'm not gonna. I
Stuck
try
in the
not to
same-
pigeonhole myself into that stuff. And you were saying a second ago about like covers, which is funny because you say you never judge a book by its cover, but we do, especially when it's actual books. And
Yeah,
comic books. You're
yeah.
like, dude, this cover looks cool, or the artwork's cool. I'm gonna pick this up. And then when you actually read it, and you're like, man, I dug that. And so now you've got something new that you like. That happened to me a few weeks ago with a book, and I was like, man, this is cool. And it's very freeing to be like, I don't want to just read all of the classic stuff over and over again. I really want to get into because man, the comic book thing has just really exploded. I mean,
I
there's
love it.
so much, and the artwork these days, it's not just the same 5 or 6 guys and women doing it. There are so many people, and I'm learning it took me a while, but I'm just now being like, oh, that's Mark Spears, or that's whoever, and you can see.
You can tell by their style.
So it's like, I go to
Yeah.
concerts a lot and I collect concert posters. That's like where I really got into artwork. And I've done that for so long where I'll be in line and you see the poster and you're like, oh, that's a Status Serigraph poster. He's my favorite. Awesome. And now they release them online hours before the show and you're like, oh man, either you're like, oh my God, the art's unbelievable, or you're like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer, and it just doesn't really speak to you, but I'm gonna get it anyway,
Right.
But with
right,
comic
right.
books, it's like, man, what's this? I was in my store yesterday and was like, man, what's this? Because it was like a homage cover that was like a movie poster from the original Scream movie. I
Yeah.
was like, but it's a book I've never heard of before, but I was gonna get it because Scream's one of my favorite franchises. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick this up. This seems cool. I have no idea what it is, so it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, and it's like only a few bucks, and
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's only a few bucks.
And that's the one. I really enjoy vinyl as well, but that's the one thing that sucks about vinyl, and I might do it whenever if I'm at a peddler's mall or something. If I see that booth that doesn't they're all cheap records. And you find one that has cool art that you never heard of, I might buy that. But at a new vinyl place, you've never heard of something, you find it, $30. I don't know if I want to spend $30 on this vinyl.
Yeah, man.
And
I'm into
what
vinyl
if the
too,
music isn't
but it is
good,
it is an expensive hobby.
It is,
and it is like you said. You get hooked in by that artwork, or again, because the artwork today. I mean, in every medium, whether it's comic books or vinyl or whatever it is. It kind of influences your purchase.
Totally.
So whether a comic book is easier because it's just a few bucks, but a vinyl, when you're torn like that, you're like, man, I don't even know. I don't even know what this band is. I don't even know I don't even know what kind of genre music this is. But this will look cool on my shelf.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Even if it's not that, even if it's not good music, for a couple bucks, it's worth it to just have in your collection because of the artwork.
Yeah, man.
I've got a few down there that are that way, and they were smaller purchases. I think the most expensive was $10 of the found it randomly, but it was a red vinyl, and
oh yeah, that's another thing they get you with, man. It's the
colors.
splatter vinyl,
Yeah.
the color vinyl, the exclusive vinyl, man, and it just they've done something right, man. I love the resurgence of vinyl.
Me too, dude.
Awesome.
I R.I.P. Ear Ecstasy.
Ugh.
I wish that it makes sense that he quit because it was dying, but had he been able to fight it, and because the resurgence,
it's unbelievable.
Louisville would go feral over Ear Ecstasy today.
And I loved going to Ear Ecstasy. It's one of those things that you think, when I was going years and years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're going, that's something that you think is going to last forever.
Yeah,
And you're like, this is just a Louisville staple. Wow, how could Ear Ecstasy go anywhere? How could, but when you look on the outside of that box and you see that it is like a dying medium with CDs or whatever it is, I wish
the digital
age, man.
Spotify.
I wish that I had bought more vinyl because I wasn't into vinyl. I mean, I was my early 20s and I wasn't, And vinyl was resurging then, but it wasn't like it is now, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, but I wish that I wish I was into vinyl like I am now, back when I was going to Ear Ecstasy, because that's what I would have been looking for. I wouldn't have been looking at the CDs or the DVD, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, but there's something about just being in that place that was magic.
It was special. It was
something about it, man. It's hard to, and I know you know this. Like,
yeah,
it's
it was
such
local.
as soon as you walk in the door, you felt like you were at home, and you knew the people working, and you knew your way around, and you go upstairs to see what vinyl they were spinning, and you could listen to the vinyl, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how I learned, you know, about new music. It was like I would go to Ear Ecstasy and see what they were listening to at Ear Ecstasy.
Yeah, because they had the headphones and like,
you'd
yeah,
be
you're
like,
going
yeah.
listen and like,
And you're like, My Morning Jacket, who are these guys? Oh, they're a local
Yeah.
band. Okay, I like a local, you know, I love locality. And you put it on, you're like, man, this is fucking good.
yeah,
You
dude.
know, or whatever it was. It really it got you out of your comfort zone with music, which I try to do that with, whether it's any medium I enjoy, whether it's music or comic books or movies or whatever it is. Like, get out of your comfort zone, man. Like,
Dude, watch something
so much
different.
good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like, I love rewatching stuff, and it's like because of the comfort of it. You know, I'll put on a movie and just like at night and like roll over and go to bed, just because I've seen the movie 100 times. I can recite it 100 times. But like, man, if it's like family movie night, I want to watch something that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, I'm never gonna reread a comic book. I don't think.
It's like, even if the
just give me
movie's
the
not
next thing.
good. Even if the movie's not
you
good,
always take away. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
like,
gonna take away
or
something.
like maybe it's not one that you throw on while you fall asleep, but experience something different. Watch something
man,
new.
it's get out there. There's so much stuff out there.
There's
And
so much stuff.
especially with music nowadays, man. Like I know what I like, you know, and I'm always gonna like that stuff. But I don't want to, you know, I'm never gonna knock you for what you like.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh man, like you like country music. Like, country music sucks. Like, you know, who am I to say that? You know, like, if it's what you like, you know, I experience this as a jam band fan. People are like, oh, your favorite band is Phish. You like the Grateful Dead. You're like, and I'm always like, you know, man, that stuff sucks. And I'm always like, well, what do you know about it? You know, like, what do you know about it? Like, you don't even know. It's just an easy thing to knock. It's an easy thing to be like, oh, I know, I've read enough about it to know that I don't like it, and so you suck for liking that,
Dude.
And it's a bummer, man, because it's like, dude, open your horizons, broaden get out there. Like, I could give you A, B, C, and D to what I like, and I'd be willing to bet that you'd be like, you know what, that's not what I thought it was.
Well, and like, so like, a lot of times people will listen to the music. Two reasons why I think people don't like jam bands from just like, from the outside looking in. One, it's because they have a friend who's obsessed with like the string cheese incident, and which, I mean, the string cheese incident's super duper fun. I love a jam band, but I don't love a jam band so much that I'm going to force the people around me to re-listen to every single live show that I've been to.
Totally.
And that's all we're allowed to listen to while we hang out. Sure. And we're like listening to like the like recording on their cell phone that they took while they were
this
like,
video I took, man. Yeah, no.
While they're like spinning point, like recording.
I'm never a person that's trying to beat it into you, for sure. Like, I'm never gonna be like, I will make you listen to this until you like it. You know, you got to listen to this 33-minute tweezer, man. You're gonna dig it.
And it's like, it is fun, but it's also, it's like, can I just like relax and like hang out? Like, do I have to be paying?
Yeah,
like, you're interrupting me every 2 seconds to be like, make sure you hear this, and I'm like, okay, just like,
yeah. And I'm okay when people are like, you know, I don't like it, and here's why. I'm like, cool, I respect that, because
you don't have
as
to
long
like
as you're
it.
having an open conversation, and it's like, but I'm never gonna be the guy that's gonna knock what you like.
But dude, jam bands are so much fun.
It is
like
a lot of
live,
fun.
like low key, I think like if you found yourself at a live show,
Well,
try to have a bad time.
that's exactly
Try to have a
that's
bad
what
time.
it is. It's like, I can't put on a video of Phish or a String Cheese Incident or Goose or whoever it is and be like, dude, check this out. You might be like, yeah, man, that's cool. But when you're there, it's so much more. And I know this sounds cheesy, but it's the scene, it's the community. It's more than the men and women on stage that are giving you the music. It's tour buddies that you haven't seen. It's the minute you pull up in the parking lot and the party and the sense of community, like that's what drew me in. Like the music was cool and that was the bonus, but like it's the friends you make. And I know it sounds so cheesy.
No, dude.
But dude, it's like when you go see Phish, it's more than the four guys on stage. It's the parking lot party. It's, in my 20s, did I do a lot of drugs and psychedelics when I go see Phish? Absolutely. But now I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like honing in, man. I don't even like when my own brother's like, hey, man, like, and I'm like, dude, hush, like, let's talk in between. Or you get those top people that are just like, are there to like catch up. And you're like, man, the band's on. Like, will you all quiet down?
Can we talk in between songs? Like,
and so I'm that guy. And so, man, I just love it. Like, it's just more than, it's just everything to me.
No, dude, I love to dance. I love to just like, and a lot of times jam bands will throw in like covers. And
because I think they know, like, it's covers are fun.
They're freaking fun.
And if they're done well, and if they're good, you're like, man, like that's. Like, there's some bands that are really good at covers, and there's other jam bands that are not very good at covers. And I'll tell you, like, Phish isn't great at covers, but like Goose and String Cheese, those Humphreys McGee, those guys can rip a cover, man. Where you're like, dude, like, and it always makes you wonder, like, why are you covering that song? But I'm not a musician, so I don't know what the discussion is in a room where a bunch of guys are like, hey, let's play this song, and you're like, yeah. I guess they know they can do it, I guess. I don't know. And Phish is, I mean, they're like nerd level musician. I mean, they're the best at what they do.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what their discussions are. I mean, Phish has always got that reputation. They're very quirky and they don't, I don't want to say they don't care. I mean, they care, obviously, and they've been doing it a long time. But like, I'm not going to Phish to see the covers, and when you go see Phish, you're not going to see a lot of covers. But if I go see another band that might have a lot of covers in their repertoire, you're almost looking forward to those.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, it's just fun, and I think it unites the crowd.
Well, because that's the part too where it unites the crowd, and it also, for me, it's like. They're playing their song, but their song was written this way. But now this cover, they're changing it up. It's getting weird. And you're just like, and then all of a sudden, you're just like, what?
It's really cool. And you're like, what is
this?
Way
they're doing that right there.
Yeah, dude, it's unbelievable. And it's adrenaline, right? You're like, you're already dancing. Now you're dancing harder and you're sweating harder. And you look around the people that you don't know, just people, on the sides of you, in the front of you, and behind you, like everyone's smiling. Everyone knows the words. So I think.
And then you got somebody with a hula hoop over here. You got somebody with the poi over there, like lighting up. And then you got the fans, and you're just like, this is, and everyone's smiling and bouncing to the same rhythm.
And exactly, dude. It's the best thing. I mean, I'm like the best version of myself when I'm at a show.
It's just so much fun.
And I'll go see anybody, man. Like, and I've never gone to a concert and walked up and be like, man, that sucked. Yeah. I'm not that closed-minded, I guess.
No.
And I've seen everything from hip-hop and country and rock and funk. I mean, I have my music spectrum is very broad.
I love all types of music. Yeah.
Dude, world music. Like, man, I was just talking about this with somebody the other day. Was it the Gorillaz? They just released this album that's like very world. It's like
I saw that they released a new album, but I haven't listened.
Dude, it's like there's a lot of, I forget who the special guests were on there, but it's like people you're like, what? That person's special guest was the Gorillaz. I think it's the Gorillaz. I don't want to misspeak, but it's very like world. It's like a lot of like Middle Eastern and like harp and like it's not what you would expect from a Gorillaz album.
Dude, the Gorillaz are also just like beats.
It's
like,
really you're like, dude, this is it. And again, I like the Gorillaz, but I don't own any of their records. I've never seen them live. I don't, know a whole lot about them. But I'm open enough to listen to that, and I was like, dude, this is cool. Like just because I know enough to know that it was different for them, And I'm like, man, and I just wish I was a musician sometimes to see how their mind worked, because it's like, what was your inspiration there? Like, what was the why?
Yeah.
And I'm like that with a lot of bands. Like, why do you do, I think musicians walk that line of like, like the Gorillaz putting out an album like that, you're either going to like lose a bunch of fans that are like, what is that? Or you gain a bunch of fans, kind of like me, where I was like, man, that was cool. That was different. And I think it's like that when anytime a band releases an album, it's like you walk a line of like, man, we're either going to like lose people on this or we're going to gain people on this. And so it's like a weird line to walk.
It is.
I
It
respect
is.
that.
Do you keep giving the people what they want, or do you keep creating something
Yeah,
different?
it's like if you draw circles over and over and you get famous for drawing circles. Well, what happens when you start drawing squares? I think
This
the
is
answer
an
to that
outrage.
is, I think the answer to that is don't get famous for drawing circles. It's
Yeah.
easy. You got to, keep doing
Well, so
something
many
different.
bands have done that, like just like over the years. Chance the Rapper or this band Ceremony. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're like a hardcore band that started out like really fast, like blah, 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 like 1 minute songs. Really good. I love that band. Like their lyrics are so poetic, and they like got a lot of bounce to it and just a lot of like good hooks. And then now they've got like almost like shoegazy indie stuff, and it's so good.
Cool.
But like people are like, I like old Ceremony, and I do too.
Well, everybody,
Like,
everybody's that fan. It's like, I like play the old stuff.
Yeah.
But like bands, they don't want to play the old stuff, man. If you're a band and you've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, hell, even 10 years maybe. I think musicians are excited, just like, authors are excited about a new book or like whatever it is, like something new. They want to do that,
I agree. I will say that when you're when a band is touring and they just released a brand new album, I think it's rude to only play the new stuff.
I agree.
We haven't had a chance to learn that yet.
Sure.
You play the song like we're seeing you live.
Right,
I want
you
to
didn't
sing
buy
along.
the ticket for the new single off.
Yeah, I want to sing along to the songs that I know. I want to sing along. I want to hear something that I've listened to through my headphones. I want to hear it.
Right, that's what brought you there.
That's what brought me there.
That's why you bought the ticket.
So it's like I'm empathetic to the artist. Like, you want to play new stuff. I get that. I want to hear it.
But give me the hits too.
You gotta give me the hits.
You gotta
man.
give me the
You
hits.
gotta give me the hits.
And a lot of bands are good at that. I've seen some bands where I'm like, man, I don't even know. And you think you know a band, and you're like, I don't even know what this song is, man.
Dude.
And then they like say, well, the good stuff for the encore or something, which is cool because it like kicks your butt on the way out. And I know a lot of bands do that. I think that's the fun thing about seeing jam bands is because there is no written set list. They don't tour off of like a predetermined set list that they play in every city.
They're kind of vibing out.
Day. And and again, we just talked about this.
So when you tour with a jam band, you're hearing
it's cool.
different sets.
It's anticipation.
Every
So it's like, man, they haven't played this song since 1999, or and it's cool. It's like, what are they going to open with? What are they going to close with? So even those guys don't know what they're going to do, and I think because it's all improvisation, right?
Totally.
And so I think that's for me. That's 70% of the fun. It's like, what's next?
Right.
What are they going to open with? I mean, you're talking to buddies who are just as into it as you are. It's infectious, man. It's so infectious.
Yeah.
Like to go with your show buddies who
because it is a community.
are in it too, and you wish you could share with everybody you know. It is a community. And
Dude, next time there's like a Phish show or a jam band show in town, I'm so bad at keeping up.
Dude, let's
and
go.
knowing, but let me know, dude. I want to go.
Hey, String Cheese is coming to Iroquois in August.
Really?
And I'll see anybody in Iroquois.
My birthday is, I've never seen a show in Iroquois.
Oh my gosh.
My birthday is in August.
Wow.
And I loved, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I get so caught up and I don't pay attention to what's coming up, what's going on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, show's happening tonight. I have to work, and it's sold out. So like,
sure, and then you got to work for a ticket. And you're like, man, yeah.
And like, I'm really trying to get away from this, but the thing that really, really sucks about service industry. Okay, so I gave up a shift on a Sunday. I gave up a shift on a Sunday, which is usually super slow. This was at the last place that I was working at, and like, I, at the time, was like, like, I got my bills paid, but it's not like I got a whole lot of extra. And I gave up that shift to go to the show. The ticket was $50. I would have made, this was a wild Sunday, but I would have made like $450. So really it cost me $500 to go to that show.
Yeah.
You know, and that's plus drinks and whatever while you're there. Which I don't think I ever actually drank much that show. It was a straight edge band, and I was just like stoked to see them. I like see the line. I see the line to the drinks, and I'm like, I'm not waiting. But like that's a common thing. Is it's like, okay, I'm asking off on this Friday. Well, that's like one of my money shifts. That's like it might not be the best money ever, best Friday ever, but it will be one of my best shifts this week.
Right.
And I have to give up one of my best shifts this week and buy the ticket and buy the drinks and that is a really sad reality of the service industry. That's the thing that sucks, dude.
Yeah, man.
Cool that you miss so much of the cool stuff going on.
Yeah, you do.
And it makes sense. And like I've just been doing that for so long that I'm just like, I'm not working anywhere right now. And I'm like, it's not that I'm not going to go back to service industry, but I'm really, when I do, I'm trying to go back to it with a different mentality. And I'm trying to have enough stuff going on like this podcast that keep me from getting into that syndrome, because I don't want to be missing all of these shows. Like, why am I like, how have I never been to Iroquois, which I've spent a lot of time out, like out of the city, but I still shouldn't have
I don't care. Just look at the calendar and be like, I'm going to go to that one, because Iroquois, man, it's like Louisville's hidden gem. I mean, dude, it is
really like.
And here's the thing:
I've heard
like,
amazing things.
It's so unassuming, and you walk in, and there's not a bad spot in there. Yeah. Okay, the staff is really cool, which I think makes a big difference for venues.
For sure,
some venues are just like, ba ba ba, and they're like, you can't stand on the aisle, and stop smoking, and stop, and it's like, man, and it could really bring you down. I think a venue staff can make or break a place.
100%.
But the Iroquois staff, man, shout out to Iroquois staff, dude. They're awesome. They're there to have fun too. They want you to have fun. And the lines, you touched on lines. Like, I don't feel like I've ever really waited in line for anything, whether it's to use the bathroom or get a beer or get food. I mean, there's always something there.
It's just good vibrations,
dude. It's such a great place to see a show.
All right, let's go to String Cheese.
Dude,
I'm there.
I'm there, man. It's gonna be. I've seen them there a couple of summers ago. I think I saw them on 4th of July a couple of years ago, and it was like, dude, it was.
I think I remember when that happened.
It's so.
I was
cool,
working at a place that had a lot of String Cheese fans, so I had to wear. You know,
see, I don't know. I know they had a big renovation years and years ago. They had like a $30 million renovation. So I don't know that I went there before that, but it's. Dude, it's beautiful. I mean, you're in the park.
I've walked through the amphitheater, but I've never seen a show.
Dude, it's killer.
Yeah, dude. Same with like Red Rocks. I need to just get out there and go see a show and like some.
So same what you just said. I've walked through Red Rocks, but I've never seen a show there. And
this
is like, I'll see anybody in here. Like, I just want to see a show in here.
Dude, find a show going on that you're stoked about. I'll go.
All right.
If it's a fun jam band, dude, let's go.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Jam bands love to play Red Rocks. So, I just want an excuse to go there.
I don't feel like I have to ask this, but Grateful Dead or Phish?
Phish.
I thought so. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure John's like.
And that might be a generational thing.
Sure.
I don't think there is a Phish without Grateful Dead.
Right.
I don't think at all. And that's tough. I'm actually surprised at how quickly I answered that. But, it's just for me, and I think my time of when I got into that, it's Phish for me, because my brother toured with the Grateful Dead and got me into what that scene is all about.
Just following, traveling with.
And at the time, you don't really understand what that means. When you're 10, you're like, what do you mean he's following this band around the country? You don't really understand what it means. But
that means camping in BLM land.
Yeah, and then you get older when you start understanding stuff, and you're like getting into the adult world of like what that means. And you're like, man, that's cool. Like, I want to do that. And so then my other brother was like, hey man, there's this band Phish, like check it out. And when you hear, at the time it was like, does this band sing? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's the jam band conundrum, and you're like, I just fell in love with it. I don't know if it was because it's like, I'm the baby of four brothers. I have three brothers. There's four of us, but I was the baby. And it's part of me was like, if they think it's cool, I think it's cool.
Sure.
Because it's like that. It's my older brother.
Yeah.
He's my idol.
Yeah.
If he likes it, I want to like it. And if I like it, he might think that I'm cool for liking it. And so it's like this thing. But it's stuff.
And you think he's so cool.
Yeah, and I think he's so cool, man.
Yeah.
My brothers are so cool.
I didn't have older brothers, but I had older cousins and like we were a big family, close family.
Yeah,
so
cool.
like they were kind of like my big brothers.
Yeah, man,
where it was
that's
like I was
good.
trying to get into, which I didn't necessarily. I started that path, but I eventually kind of was like,
Cool.
nah, I think other stuff
Yeah,
is cool.
yeah. That's awesome.
Which was ultimately a good thing, but I definitely can relate with the feeling. It did have influence.
Yeah, and I think, but you get this genuine love for it. And
Yeah.
So when you ask me that, Phish or Grateful Dead, for me it's Phish, but I think it's because of the time of how my age and when I got into it, and
that's your start. That's your
because really the Grateful Dead was almost I remember the day Jerry Garcia died, but I don't think I was like into it then. I remember seeing it on the news, and I remember being like, oh, that's the band that Brandon liked, like, oh my gosh, but I wasn't really there yet. I was very young. I mean, that was what, 95? I mean, I was 12 years old.
Have you seen Dead and Company?
Yeah, I have.
I'd like to see them with John Mayer. That just sounds pretty cool.
It's cool, man. And that guy gets joked on a lot. I've seen
John
every iteration of the Grateful Dead except seeing Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
And Dead and Company's cool, and it's one of those things where like John Mayer, all right, but dude, that guy, dude shreds, man.
Beast. I love John Mayer.
Dude,
I loved him since I was in high school.
Good.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah,
I heard this blues album. It's like he has this blues trio. And I don't know if it's just called like the John Mayer. I think it's just called the John Mayer Trio.
Yeah.
And there was this album that came out, and it's like a blues record.
Dude,
and it knocked my socks off, man. Yeah. I was like, that's when you're like, dude, this isn't the pop stuff that you liken him to. I mean, this guy was like, dude, this dude can play.
Have you heard his cover of Free Fallin'?
Yeah.
So good.
Man, it's so cool. We actually got to see him at Jazz Fest years and years and years ago. And this predates, his Dead and Company tenure.
Yeah.
He did that cover, and he did a Grateful Dead cover. And I was just like, and again, back to bands doing covers to unite the crowd. He does this, he plays this Dead tune. And I was like, of course, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And it's just like, so when that announcement happened, it was John Mayer, like, to me, it made a little bit of sense. But as some of me, I was like, what? But then when you go and see it and you listen to some of the recordings, you're like, man, that guy has a passion about it and he cares.
Yeah.
He wants to do a good job, and he did a great job.
Dude, yeah. And he's just, he does care. I mean, just listen to his music, dude.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
I was in high school when it wasn't cool for boys to your body is a wonderland.
Sure, right.
And
Exactly.
I was just vibing out with the headphones of my iPod, just dude, John Mayer is so
and
good.
come to find out, that was stuff that he was pressured to put out so that he could actually do what he wanted to do. He didn't want to do the pop. He didn't want to, but when the label's in your ear and the industry is as aggressive as it is, I guess, he didn't, that's not what he wanted to do, but he's like, I guess I got to do this.
It funded the passion projects, which are way cooler.
Yeah.
And I can respect that a little bit.
Sure.
So we got the Phish, jam bands. We got the comic books. I know with the comic books, that comes with a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
Comic-Con. What's the one you just recently went to?
We went to it's called Horror Hound. It's a horror movie convention.
Yes.
But, man, those conventions are a lot of fun.
What's your favorite convention that you've been to?
Oof, man, I've not been to a lot.
Okay.
The convention world really opened up to me just within the last 10 years. I
Okay.
think, the first one we went to, I believe, was in Nashville. And the only reason we went there really was why we bought the ticket was because, we named my son Oliver off of Oliver Queen, who's the Green Arrow.
Yes, I know. I actually didn't know that one. Yeah.
And so, you watch that CW show, Arrow.
Oh, it's so good. It's very soap opera-y, but I love it.
It's the CW for you.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh man, like Stephen Amell's going to be at this convention. Like, wouldn't it be funny if we took Oliver to meet him? And we wanted to meet him too, of course. And so we actually printed off like the news story from him being born in the back seat and everything. We printed off like a picture and took that to the convention so that we could have him sign it.
That's
told him the story, and he was just like, "Man, that's so cool," and had a genuine reaction. That one was fun, and I think it was just like a general like pop culture con. There's a lot going on. It was my first one, so they are very overwhelming. If you've never been, it's just a lot of people. It's like, and what do you want to do? Like, do you want to meet the celebrities? Do you want to vent? Like, what do you? It's a lot.
Yeah.
This last one, Horror Hound, we've been twice. We've actually been to a con here in Louisville that was really cool, which Stephen Amell was at that one too, and that was like maybe our like.
That's the guy who plays Oliver Green in Arrow.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it was awesome. But the horror ones are cool because I'm a big horror movie fan. Christy is not, but she'll watch them in the middle of the day. She's nothing that she wants to watch in the dark room. But they're not. It's not like it's what you think it is. I mean, you go to a horror convention, and it's like this with most conventions. There's a lot of cosplay.
Yes.
And so with horror conventions, it's like Halloween, right? So it's like people are dressed as Jason or Freddy or Ghostface or whatever it is, and it's really cool. I mean, dude, these cosplayers, man. Mad respect to these people because good Lord, I mean, these people are like building this stuff at home, and it's like, how did you do this? Like, can I get your picture? Like, there's contests for it. So this last one that we went to was up in Cincinnati. It was Horror Hound. We went because we wanted to meet Matthew Lillard because he's the draw, and we had it was the best weekend, man. We got to you set out with these goals. It's like, well, we want to meet X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get shut out because it's not like, you go to Disneyland and you want to ride a ride, you wait in line. You just get in line and you have to wait for however long. And you think it's like that when you want to meet some of these people, but like they cap their lines. They don't even let you stand in line. And they'll tell you like, hey, his line is capped for the day. And you're like, oh man. And there's people coming from all over and you're like, what do you mean? Like, I can't even stand in line. It's kind of crazy. So Christy actually it was a Christmas gift. She actually got us VIP tickets. So a VIP ticket.
To make sure you were able to
make sure. And I think that's the way you have to meet like the A-listers that are going to be at these things.
Yeah.
Because you get like a line cut. You go to the line attendant and you're like, hey, and then they're like, cool. And there's like a separate line, and you're still waiting in a line, but it's like,
they let them.
It's like a fast pass line, and
every couple
park.
you get.
It's like a zipper merge type deal, and so I mean that's the way. But even then, they're like, you can't wait in line right now. Like, come back at 2, come back at 3.
Yeah,
man, we were very lucky to actually, and it can be expensive if you let it be.
I'm sure.
So it's like, well, I want to meet Elvira. Elvira, like, come on, man, it's freaking Elvira, like. That's like one of the people who I knew I liked girls growing up.
She's the reason my heart's on fire.
So it was like, I want to meet her. Her line's insane. But you get in the line and you just wait, and everybody we met was so cool.
Yeah.
And genuine. And at least I don't know. I mean, I know they're actors, man, but like, I don't want to believe that they're just like putting on a face. Because like I have met celebrities where you're like, you walk away from their table and you got a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
You're like, man, and you're like looking at the person you're with, and you're like, did you feel that too? And they're like, yeah, it just felt cold. But this one, man, everybody was so like, they make you feel like you're the only person in the room.
Dude, I've been a fan of Matthew Lillard. He's nostalgic for me for 2 main reasons. One, when I was like a child, Scooby-Doo, I don't even care how embarrassing this is, Scooby-Doo was my favorite. It was my favorite cartoon. I loved the heck out of some Scooby-Doo. So then when the live action came out, he was Shaggy.
Yeah, man.
And I loved Shaggy. So, like, he's always had, like, that little special place in my heart. Sure. And then, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Without a Paddle.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Dude, when that movie... I don't know when it came out. I mean, I was young when we watched it. I know that like my parents had got the but my parents had like bought the DVD for some reason.
Oh, it's so
and like we watched it the first time in our basement, family movie night, something different. And it's funny. It was so like such a memorable experience for me that like I remember all of the jokes that my parents laughed at during that movie that I didn't get. And then I remember the moment of like, there was like several years of watching it. I was like, I still don't get it.
Yeah.
And then like, I remember the moment of like remembering or like when I got it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh like, my God. Shit. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. But like, what a great movie, dude. And a great cast. And so like, it's who I would do that if a buddy came to me with a treasure map right now. Like, let me pack a bag.
You're like, dude, let's go.
I'm down.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Let's freaking go, dude.
I love Without a Paddle, man. That was really so one of those. Good. Again, the rewatch factor on it is so good. And
it really is.
Because a lot of people liken Matthew Lillard to Scream or Scooby-Doo, and he's done so much, but, or like, SLC Punk and Hackers. He's done so much good stuff. And everybody had a horror conventions there for Scream, right? But, dude, fucking 50% of the line, Scooby-Doo fans, too. They're like, dude, people just sign my Mystery Machine, sign my Scooby-Doo, like, it's really cool.
It is cool. Is it not, like, a little annoying? You're like, you're not even here for the... Well, I mean, Scooby-Doo's kind of like horror.
No, it has that. It's like, I think there's an element of horror for Scooby-Doo. I will argue that.
Actually,
I think because it's like, you're looking for the villain. It's mystery. It's, it's...
I was over here trying to play devil's advocate, like, you're not here for the right reason. And I'm like, no,
dude,
Scooby-Doo, I think, does.
It's really split for his line. I mean, it's either you're getting something Scooby-Doo signed or people are dressed as Shaggy.
Yeah.
And like, he's so good because like, he'll like take pictures and sign autographs and then he'll like look at his line, which is insane all day.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he'll like leave his table and walk through the line and like grab out the little kids and be like, hey, let's go. Because, he's a dad. He gets it and he'll be like, kids don't have the patience of adults, and so let me get this kid out of the line. He was a dream, dude. He was, and he'll do the Shaggy voice or whatever the kid, wants to do. Like he was one of the coolest people I've ever met at a convention, like by far. Like it's not even close.
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
He is the coolest.
That makes me really happy to hear, honestly. Dude, just because I don't want to have any negative feelings towards that guy. He just seems like a cool guy.
I couldn't even like make up a negative thing of my experience of meeting him. Like it was insanely cool.
Have you heard of the podcast Armchair Expert?
Dude, I was almost asked you about it when we were kind of like riffing about.
That was one of the podcasts. Yeah. Armchair Anonymous was one of the things that inspired me to do this. I enjoy all of the stories that are told through that are by normal people. And I'm like, dude, I know so many people. Yeah.
It's funny.
It's my favorite of the show. Yeah.
Dude, it's cool. And like that was when I was kind of like, yes, it's mainly celebrities, but when he has like these doctors on that some sort of professional in some sort of like laser focused field, it's really cool and informative. And
the experts on experts.
And it's so exactly. So I was going to bring that up.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the podcast that got me into podcasts.
Same.
Like, I was like, man, this is really good.
Like, well, I had started the first time I left home. I was listening to a lot of murder mystery podcasts with the person I was traveling with. Sure. Because that's what she was into at the time. And I was like into podcasts, but then Armchair Expert was the one that like I found on my own years after the murder mysteries and stuff. And I had like over an hour drive to work every day, and I found that, and dude, it was great. And
dude, it was. I'm so glad that Chrissy introduced me to that because we were going out to Colorado to see Phish, and in between shows, we wanted to go to Red Rocks, or drive to Boulder, or like go to see the Stanley
a long
Hotel,
drive, 45 to an hour.
Yeah, and so same story. So like she's also very much into murder podcasting.
Yeah.
And and those things were cool and interesting, but it's
they are fun.
some of them they get stuck in. I was like addicted to some of those. It's like, I want to know what happened to this guy. Did he get convicted? Is he innocent? Like the ones where you're like,
no,
this
I
guy's
enjoyed
like
them.
falsely in prison. Like I very much enjoyed them. And then like she puts on Armchair Expert, and I'm like, man, this is awesome.
It's fun.
It was so cool. And
Yeah.
I knew Dax from, Without a Paddle and stuff.
Punk'd.
And then the episode with Matthew Lillard, because like knowing that they're still buddies.
That's what I was
and
going to
stuff.
ask if you listened to the episode with him, Seth Green, and Matthew Lillard. Like they both came on. It was a really good episode.
And you talk about a good hang,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what that episode was. It's three friends, man, that are just like, you almost forget you're being recorded. You're just in there like having fun conversation, man.
Exactly.
Like, reliving the old days for those guys.
Yeah, and
so
like
much
that's
fun.
what I loved, and like Steve said this about this show, and I was like, wait. So what do you mean about this? But he was like, you kind of have like a Joe Rogan setup going on here, and I was like, what do you? Hold on.
Time out.
What do you mean? But just the fact that it is just kind of like hanging out. I don't know if you've listened to. I'm going to shout out all of these like super successful podcasts, but like Good Hang with Amy Poehler. Mm-hmm. I like low key. Good Hang. I'm like mad at because it's almost like she stole the name that I wanted for this podcast.
You have an awesome one though, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You got a really good one.
It started as like I was saying like ExZachLy What I'm Sayin, and I was like the ExZachLy like it's just too much, and I was like not feeling it. And once I cut the Ari off, I was like, oh, okay. This is
dude,
vibing.
it's good. Yeah, it's really good.
I love that. When meeting actors and actresses at conventions or just in general, if you've met them somewhere else, is there one celebrity that surprised you the most personality wise, whether good or bad?
Man, so there's two. One, it was Kevin Smith, which, dude, I grew up on Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Clerks and Mallrats and
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
I met him picking up my wife at the airport. Wasn't even at a convention.
Sick.
I'm at the Louisville airport. I go upstairs. I'm like just making my way to the gate, to pick up Christy. And I'm looking at the baggage claim, and I knew exactly because, Kevin Smith is always in like a hockey jersey. He has like a look about him.
Yeah.
Backwards hat. And I was like, dude, I was starstruck, right? And I got from him exactly what you would think. So not necessarily was it a surprise, but it was just like, man, that's Kevin Smith. And like I was so like, I called him Mr. Smith. I was like, because I walked up from behind him and I was like, Mr. And he kind of turns around and I was just like, hey man, I know you hear it a lot, but like I grew up on your movies. Thank you for everything that you've done. I don't want to keep you, and he was like, oh, dude, like, and he like smelled of weed, and is like, and so you're like, you're getting all these things. You're like, this is exactly like what I thought it would be. And he's like, man, you want to like take a picture? And I was like, yeah, dude. So I'm like shaking, I'm like fumbling, I'm like get my phone out, and I'm like, ask his buddy to like take. He's like, no, man, like, let's do this selfie. We're gonna take a selfie. Let's take a selfie.
Like,
He like,
get over
he like
here.
takes my phone and like does it himself. And I'm like, shit. And I'm like texting Christy. I'm like, I'm talking to Kevin Smith right now. And she's like, what? And I'm like, hey, he's in the baggage claim. And she's like, I'm running, like in all caps. So, dude,
Because
she runs,
she's in the airport.
dude. She's like, and she's got Rowan, and Rowan's still like a young child. She's like maybe 2 years old, and she's like comes running with this stroller. Dude, we talked to him for like 20 minutes and he did not, sometimes you would think maybe celebrities are like, all right, man, cool. Like, thanks. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He was like, just like, dude, he took pictures with me. He waited. I was like, dude, my wife's running down here. Like, he's like, cool, let's wait around.
Let's wait. Yeah.
Dude,
no
so she
rush.
comes-
Like, my wife would love to meet you.
Yeah, he takes pictures
Yeah.
with all the family, like asks us questions, and he was in town for a convention.
Yeah.
And at a convention that we weren't going to. And I said to him, man, I guess I could have bought a ticket to have this experience. And he goes, man, meeting people like this is so much cooler.
For sure.
And when he said that, you were just like, man, thank you. And you walk away, and there's no one else like coming up to him. Like, I don't know if it's just like, and people were asking, they're like, hey man, who was that guy? I'm like, man, that's
Really?
Kevin Smith. Like, that's a writer-director of, like, all the movies that, like, helped form me to who I am, Like,
Yeah.
it was just, like, so cool. So that wasn't necessarily a surprise. I was like, man, it was just everything you wanted. It's like meeting Matthew Lillard. Like,
yeah.
dude, because you hear stories and you're like, yes, I got that experience too. Awesome. Second, Ethan Embry from this last horror convention that we just do. That was a surprise. Not necessarily because he was just so cool and genuine and like his energy was awesome. You know, again, he's in two of my favorite movies of all time. He's, you know, it's Empire Records and he's That Thing You Do. And dude, he was just recently in Scream, which is again my favorite, like it's like my guilty pleasure movie. It's my favorite horror franchise.
I haven't seen the new one.
So he's in the new one.
All right.
And so I was just like, dude, and he like read my mind because I was like in line and I'm like asking Christy, I'm like, man, what am I going to have him sign? Like, do I get That Thing You Do? Do I get Can't Hardly Wait? Like his career's insane. And I'm like, Empire Records. So I was like, I settle on Empire Records. All right. So I get the 8x10 that he's got at his table. And it's my turn. And he's like, Rage Against the Machine is on his radio. And he like turns it up when I get like, oh, I'm next. And he comes up to me and he's like dancing with me. And he like puts his arm around me. And he's like, what's up, dude? What's your name? Like, where are you from? And he's just, again, just such a genuine dude. And I explained to him that I was having difficulty deciding on what I wanted him to sign. Because I was like, dude, you're in two of my favorite movies. And he goes, and I said, so I settled on number 2. And I go, I just didn't know. And he goes, what's your number 1? And he like pointed to a picture of That Thing You Do. Like, I didn't even answer. And he goes, that one. And I go, dude, how did you know that? He goes, dude, it's the perfect movie. And so he like told me some ins and outs of that movie and just like what it meant to him. And like, so walking away from his table was awesome. You know,
Did he sign that one?
Oh, he dude. So I went back because he was so cool. I walked away with Empire Records.
Okay.
And he wrote like, you know, I don't know if you've seen Empire Records, but
I feel like I watched it.
There's some stuff.
Yeah, I need
like,
to watch it again.
There's like a tagline in there, like his name's Mark in the movie, and like there's a character that makes buttons for everybody, and she's like this like brooding goth chick, you know.
Yes.
And she makes buttons for everybody, and the button that she makes for him says Mark sucks. And so, but he's like proud about it. He's like, Mark sucks. So he wrote like Mark sucks, and like he also eats like a lot of weed brownies
from That Thing You Do.
From Empire Records.
Oh, from Empire Records. That's right.
So he also eats a bunch of weed brownies and starts to like have a bad high. He's like watching Gwar and like he's like watching Gwar on TV, and he gets so high that Gwar like starts talking to him through the TV, and he's just like, what's going on? And so he wrote like Gwar, like dude, he was so cool. And so because he was so cool, we went back like the next day. It was a 3-day convention, and I was like, I gotta go get That Thing You Do thing signed.
Yeah,
like, it's my favorite movie. Like I gotta do it.
And he did leave such a good impression.
Dude, and he left such a good impression. He was just so cool, and he would shake your hand. A lot of celebrities will like give you the fist bump because they, you know,
they're being weird.
They don't want to you know, I guess they don't want to shake hands, which I get it. You know, you don't want to shake hands and get sick. You don't want to catch something. But dude, this guy like tough handshake,
I wouldn't care.
bring you in, arm around you, like. I mean, dude, he wanted to know everything about you. I mean, he was awesome. So I think like he was like walking away from that convention. I was like, dude, that was like. He was one of my like surprise takeaways. Out of all the people we met, like he was one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
he was so cool.
Like
man.
You were excited to meet him, but you didn't expect to love, like to just be like,
dude, it was so cool.
I love that.
It was so
cool. No, that's super cool, man. I wanted to ask. I actually never wrote this down, so I'm happy that I remembered. Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
Oh yeah,
dude,
oh yeah.
So how was Billy Zabka, the Karate Kid,
so
or as I should say?
You know, we had that whole conversation in line waiting for him, right? So I was like, what was it like? Because you know he was in How I Met Your Mother, and we were like reliving it. I'm like, he was like, why can't I think of the character? I'm having a brain fart.
Barney.
Oh, my Barney. Thank you.
Yeah.
He was like Barney's idol.
Yeah.
But he's like at a party dressed as a clown or something. Like the episode, like you didn't know it was Billy Zabka till the end.
It was his bachelor party. It was
thank
Barney's
you.
bachelor
Thank
party.
You. Yes. And so we were like in line talking about that. And I'm reminding Chrissy, I'm like, yeah, remember? Because he was like dressed as a clown.
And they had Ralph Macchio show up, and he's like, that is not the Karate Kid.
Yeah, he's like, that is the villain. And so it was really cool. And people were like in line, like, was like, hearing this conversation, and so they got in on the conversation. They're like, yeah, it was this episode, like this is what happened.
Yes.
Dude, he was so cool.
He seems like, just watching, like, in How I Met Your Mother, I know he's playing himself, but he still is acting. But that has, like, put, like, the Karate Kid,
so
man.
cool.
Billy
Oh,
Zabka. William Zabka is the Karate Kid.
He was so nice. Yeah, he was so funny. What's funny is Christy had Ralph Macchio's book, okay, because they were both there. And she's like, well, I'm going to have Ralph Macchio sign my book.
I saw you guys met him as well,
she's
yeah.
like, I guess I'll have, William Zabka, because I had, like, this little stupid figurine set that I had both of them sign. But Christy was like, well, if I'm going to meet Zab, I want his autograph too. So she went the next day to use just, like, one of her line cuts, because she didn't really have anybody else. So she went again.
Yeah.
And she was like, will you sign? So she asked him to sign Ralph Macchio's book. And she's like, is this weird that I'm asking you to? And he's like, no, I love signing right, because he's in that book a lot.
And they're friends.
And he's like, no, I love, signing Ralph's book or whatever. And he's like, where do you want? Because he had already signed it. Ralph Macchio had already signed it the day before. So he's like, where do you want me to sign it? And she's like, man, I don't care anywhere. So jokingly, he, like, closed the book and acted like he was going to write, like, across his face, because it's Ralph Macchio's face on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, if you don't care, he, like, closed the book and, like, acted like he was going to sign across Ralph Macchio's face. And he's like, no, I'm joking.
Yeah,
She's like, no, if you wanted to do that, that would have been really funny.
Or, like, signing at the bottom,
yeah,
like it's
so
it's
cool.
his headshot.
He was really cool.
Yeah, it just seems like a cool guy, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out the real Karate Kid, Billy Zabka.
It's so funny.
Do you have well, you kind of maybe have said it already, but do you have a favorite cult classic?
Oh man, cult classics, like that's a deep. What do you consider a cult classic?
Well, so you had said Scream a second ago. I feel like Scream. So I guess when I think of cult classic, I think of any movie that has almost like a diehard fan base.
Following.
Yeah.
Man, there's.
I know.
Favorite.
I know. I have mine. I don't know that, like, it's in the tops, but without thinking about it too much, I really enjoyed The Princess Bride.
Oh, The Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride is so good.
That's a good one. Man, I don't know if I can name a favorite, so I'll give you. I'm going to give you two.
Give me a few, yeah.
The Princess Bride is up there. Man, that one is so good. But I'll have to go like Pulp Fiction. It's probably one.
That's what I answered. So I was thinking about it because I was asked on my last interview, I was asked what movie I would take to a deserted island with me, and Pulp Fiction was one of
on there.
was it's so good because you get the action and comedy and just like,
and it's so good. I mean,
it really is.
And I'm sure that's a lot of people's answers. Pulp Fiction. I mean, come on, man, it's Pulp Fiction. Also, I would probably say like Fight Club. I love Fight
Club.
But I don't know. I mean, is that a cult classic? I don't know.
I think so.
I think so.
I think
it
so.
has like a big following, and it's got like, it's one of those movies that like kind of underperforms at a box office rate.
Right.
But like, when it comes to like
The people who like it,
the DVD and Blu-ray sale, and the streaming and stuff like that these days, like it blows up.
it's a wild movie.
I'd go with those two.
Okay. Have you seen the new-ish, I think it came out last year, with Pedro Pascal, what is it called, like Freaky Nights?
No,
It's
that looks
really good.
cool. I know exactly what you're talking. It
Dude.
looks like it. I just said Pulp Fiction, but it looks very Tarantino-esque.
I've
seen a few trailers. It looks kind of like bizarre.
It's Tarantino-esque. It kind of seems like it was filmed in the 80s, 90s. Or like, it looks like it was filmed in like the 90s, but
I'll check it
based
out.
in the 70s, 80s.
It
Dude,
looks
watching
cool.
it, I was like, is this instantly a cult classic? Like, I feel like this is already a cult classic and it's brand new.
It seemed very
it's
cool.
really good. I'm already a big fan of Pedro.
Oh, shit.
I know everybody is, but
Yeah.
like, damn, Pedro Pascal
Good for
and
that
John
guy.
Cena,
Oh my
like,
God,
I
dude.
love both of them. They're hilarious, both of them.
So good.
Dude, he is so good. His movies that have been coming out, like Jackpot,
Dude, so
so
funny.
funny,
It's like those
dude.
sleeper hits. You're like, man, this is
Dude,
fucking good.
yeah,
This
John
is funny.
Cena and Pedro Pascal are the best. Have you seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with
No.
Pedro
No,
Pascal
dude,
and Nick
that-
Cage?
No, where it's like Nick Cage is Nick Cage.
Yeah,
right?
Nick Cage is playing Nick Cage. Dude.
No, and I don't know why I've waited this long. Because like when I first saw the trailer of that movie, I was like, "That's a no-brainer." Like,
Dude.
we're going to see that.
Like, you know, we were talking about like movies earlier and how like it's nice to go back to things that you're familiar with, and then but it's also really nice, especially like family movie night, to experience a new movie. You know, in the world of Netflix and and all these streaming services, it's often that people don't rewatch movies. It's not often, for me, it's not often that I find a new movie that I want to rewatch. Even, you know?
Yeah.
And I think some of that is like when, you know, Netflix is cool, but they're like mass producing these movies, and you see the difference between a Netflix original and then when you think that's good until you go to the movie theater and you see that banger that was like really put a lot into it. Both of those movies, Freaky Nights, I've seen twice now, and it only came out last year, and I rewatched it like almost immediately because I was just like, I want to see all this stuff. And then Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I've watched probably like 4 times.
If I want to see Nicolas
now.
Cage in any kind of role, it's that role.
Dude, it is so good. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
that's what, of course it is. It has to be, you know.
And it's so, it's a really, really freaking
I don't know
good
why
one.
I've let that one get by me, because when I first saw that and just the concept, I was like, dude, this is I will be watching this movie. And it's been out years now, and I just haven't got around to it, which is insane to me.
I kept seeing the memes of Pedro Pascal,
Yeah,
or like
in the car.
like him smiling and Nick Cage, like what's going on? And I was like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
And I found it, and I was like, okay, I gotta go watch it right now. I need to know what in the world is going on, dude. No, let me know what you think when you watch it,
for sure,
because it's peak. What are your thoughts on the new Harry Potter series coming out?
Oh man, so we're a big Harry Potter household.
Yes, I did know that.
You know, those are movies that like I remember going to like midnight showings when that was still a thing.
Yeah,
you know, and it
putting
was
on
like
your witch hat.
And it was such a broad time of my life, because it's like you have, I mean, what was it? Technically 8 movies.
Yeah,
because the last one.
Yeah, because the last one's 2. Yeah.
I mean, and if you have a couple of years in between 2, I mean that's 15, 20 years of your life where you're like watching Harry Potter in the theater.
Dude, yeah.
And you're like, man, I dug it.
How old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay.
So I love Harry Potter. And Christy, she's being, you know, the bookworm that she is, you know, it's like that dichotomy of like the book reader versus like, that's not how you know.
I've done both, you know.
Same,
the books are better, but the movies are great.
Sure. Again, and when we go to Universal, like when you go to Universal Studios in Florida and you walk into like the Harry Potter world, bro, it's like you walk around like you're just like looking around at the details. It's insanity.
I went for the first time and only time. It would have been my freshman year of college, so like 15 years ago, and it was like basically brand new. There was hardly anything Harry Potter there. They had Harry Potter World, but like I've seen where it's at now, and I'm like, I gotta go. Like it was not like you could get a butterbeer and buy a wand, and like that was about it. They didn't have moving paintings. They didn't have like all of the intricate stuff. Like
what they've done with that is amazing. With that said, I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
I'm not a big J.K. Rowling fan, just because of some of her views on issues that are important to me and my family and my beliefs.
Same.
And so it's a bummer, because
it really is.
You're like, man, you have this person who is really a genius in what they have put on paper and what they have created, and
the whole
what
world.
Harry Potter has done to pop culture, It's insane.
It really is.
And so it's a bummer when somebody like that, comes and says things and then doubles down.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. And it was felt good for like the cast of those movies to be like, man, yeah, that sucks. And we don't share those views. And so it almost takes them out of the fun that they had growing up making Harry Potter because they were kids, that became like, these young adults they shot those movies for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer for them to come out of that and be like, this is where we are with that. But to make it more black and white, I'm excited. I think
it'll be fun.
I think, I've been hanging on the coattails of the news with it. I watched as the trailer dropped. I was like, I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and when you read about it, it's supposed to be, each season is supposed to be off of one books, which would allow them to do more that they couldn't do in a movie.
Totally.
Which I haven't read Harry Potter books. Which I
Oh, you haven't?
I kind of told Chrissy, I'm like, man, I almost feel like a poser. I'm like this big fan, and I love the whole, I love everything about it. But like, I should probably read the books if I'm going to watch this show. So, because I want that. I want that to be like, yeah, that happened in the book, or you
want to know what's.
But on the
accurate.
flip side of that,
yeah.
I don't watch the movies and have any kind of disappointment either. Where I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not how that happened, or they didn't put this, or they didn't do that. I don't have that expectation. It's like when you watch like Game of Thrones. My whole family like freak Game of Thrones fans, and they read the books, and they like it's like their Bible, man.
I haven't
and you're
read
like,
the books, but
and they're like, "There's fucking the book," I'm like, but I didn't have that, so I'm just gonna watch the show and enjoy it, and not have that like, well, the book, but the book, but the book, but the book, And so now I'm like, now that's something that when you read, it's like, well, this is supposed to be like the book.
Yeah,
I want to check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Like for me, the more Harry Potter content you have out there, man, I'm cool. But like J.K. Rowling can suck it.
Totally. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I guess you see all these like people, like some people are like, why is Hermione black? And I'm like, why do you care? Who cares, man? Like,
it doesn't matter.
It literally doesn't matter. There's a lot. It kind of is like. I am a big Harry Potter fan. It's like very nostalgic. I read all the books. I remember when the movies came out being like, oh man, they left that out and I wish they would have included it. I couldn't tell you what any of that is now.
Sure.
Though. It's been like since high school that I've read the books.
Okay.
Or like, there was a time like number 2 was out when I started number 1. But eventually I was finished with the book that's coming out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it was like... it was more for that it was that time period, and I couldn't tell you what those things are. Not most of them. Maybe a couple. If I really thought about it, I could remember. But I do think that it's cool. But okay, so with like the anime, the live action One Piece is now out, and people are like saying stuff like that of like, why are the characters all these different races, and why is this and why is that? And I'm like, One Piece was a freaking cartoon, but these people were from places, you know what I mean? Like that is what they were intended to be. And also this, like, they all didn't speak English either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
like they all didn't, in real life, these people wouldn't have come together and all spoken English. Well,
right.
well, I mean, they might have, like, people can learn more than one language, but yeah, like Zoro's Japanese and Sanji is French and Luffy is Hispanic. I mean, I feel like I should actually know where he's from, but like, he's from in the show, he's from a Spanish-speaking place. So it's like, the fact that they're all speaking perfect English is not like, that's not real.
Right.
Like, this is Hollywood. This is a movie.
Yeah,
This is, so it's like, at the end of the day, the creators made this character a specific race. Like, why are you guys upset about that?
Yeah.
Why are you guys upset about that? Like, they're like, Brooke's character wasn't black. look at him. And they're also like, yeah, but look at all the other facts. And also, after like the first time meeting him, he's a skeleton. The rest of it. So like, why do you even like, bro? Like these people got stretchy arms and are like living skeletons and talking reindeers. Like, shut up.
My
Shut
son's
up.
like,
Who
he's like
cares?
big into One Piece right now, but like,
Oh, I love it.
but like the Netflix show.
Okay.
It's like one
I
day
love both.
I walk in, I've know One Piece just from,
Media.
media. And I walk in one day and he's like watching the show. I was like, man, what you watching, bud? And he's like, man, I'm watching One Piece. And he's like in it, man.
Yeah.
You know? And cause he's getting to that age where he's like, he likes animation.
Yeah.
But he's starting to watch like live action stuff. And he it wasn't like a, hey buddy, as a parent, you're always like, man, watch what I like. You're gonna like this.
Sure.
But so it's so cool when you see your kids take it upon themselves to be like,
Find new stuff.
man, this seems popular. I'm gonna check it out. And I think that's what happened. So I was like, what you watching, dude? And he's like, man, I'm watching One Piece. And I was like, cool. You dig it? And he's like, man, I love it. This is awesome. Like, this is why. This is what I like about it.
Yeah.
And so now he's like buying. He doesn't read it. And he doesn't. But he likes to get the figurines. And so like I actually took a picture of the little figure you had in your kitchen downstairs because I want to show him. And I get it like, look.
It holds my phone whenever I'm cooking.
Like, oh, is that what it is?
Whenever I'm cooking and stuff, I'll put my phone
and
up
I
there.
noticed your One Piece stuff there. And so, man, it's just so cool to find like he's like getting into his own little fascinations of what he likes.
Do you think he would read it?
I think he would, because like he's at that age now where he's getting into comic books.
Yeah.
And so the comic book store that I go to has this deal where like the guy who runs the shop is like, man, if you can tell me about, it's a weekly thing. If you can tell me about 2 books you read, I'll give you a $10 book or less for free.
Sick.
And so, my son's like, well, it's on.
Yeah,
and so,
let's
man,
go.
my kid goes home and he reads Wolverine and Deadpool.
Cool.
And he's like reading all this cool stuff. And he goes the next week and he's like, yeah, I read Deadpool Assassins #4 and this is what it was about and this is why I liked it. And
Do you think you'd read Volume 1?
Dude, probably. I know my nephew, so him and my nephew are very close.
Yeah.
And my nephew's got a One Piece manga for his birthday last Saturday. And so he's like burning through it.
Yeah.
Because we pick him up every week too to do comic book store day.
Cool.
And so it's like a ritual. And so like yesterday when I picked him up, he had a manga in his hand. I was like, man, what are you reading, dude? And he's like, man, I'm reading One Piece.
Yeah.
And Oliver
okay.
kind of he kind of perked up and was like, oh man, is it cool? Like, what's it like?
Yeah.
Da, da, da. So if he's like reading comics and stuff, I think he would be totally into it.
Well, I got volumes 1 through 3.
Okay.
If you want to borrow it, I don't know what he's got.
Dude, he has no
But-
like physical media for One Piece. So
Oh, dude, do you want to surprise him with Volume 1?
That'd be
dude?
awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's because when my nephew opened this, he's like, it's backwards. I'm like, no, man, that's the thing.
That's-
we're trying to explain to him like how that worked. Like,
Yeah, dude.
From right to left. So yeah, dude. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I've got
think
2 and
he'll
3 as
be-
well. So if he likes it, we can exchange them.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
of
he
course.
will
I
dig
hope he
that.
loves it.
He will dig that. His birthday's coming up in May, so I think we always try to go off of like what your kids are into at this point in their lives and
Right.
stuff, and so
Because
like,
they are
he's-
getting that personality. You
He
wanna-
is, yeah, and he's very much into One Piece, and I know nothing about it,
Dude.
So other than like it's really leaving its mark.
Something that I can say is something that has recently started to hit the mainstream is a lot of countries have banned the straw hat flag, the Jolly Roger. They have banned the straw hat flag in the country because it's used as a sign of protest. It's used in their protest. People fly that flag as a safe place, as a we are not conforming to the government flag. Palestine, Jordan, I can't remember the one that I just recently saw. I just recently learned because I was actually at a smoke shop, and the owner, or I don't know that he was. I think he's the owner. I learned this because I complimented his straw hat flag, and I was like, dude, I like that you're rocking the straw hats. And he was like, oh yeah, man. I learned that he's Palestinian, but he told me that for years and years, countries have been flying that flag as a sign of protest.
Wow.
And if that doesn't tell you good things about One Piece, then maybe you should.
Dude, cool,
maybe
man.
you should read it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good freaking series. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you are going to want to beat up the bad guy.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, dude. They're different kind of pirates.
Cool, dude. Right on.
Dude, I love One Piece. I really do. How many Phish concerts have you been to? Any way of knowing? Is it like, oh,
no,
God.
I do know. I've been to 71.
Oh,
which, like, I say,
Dang.
in this room, I can be like 71. I wouldn't, if somebody asked me that at a Phish concert, I'd be like 71.
Oh, because they're
people are
like, I've been to 1,522.
Exactly. You're almost embarrassed of like,
That was one tour.
Like my first Phish concert was in 1998. But I didn't tour with Phish. I saw Phish maybe twice a year for a few years. And then when it became an obsession, I would just try to go within, I wasn't trying to like get on an airplane and go across the country because I just didn't have that means.
Well, I mean, 71, it sounds like you didn't have to because, I mean, in 28 years, you've been able to see them more than 2 times a year.
Yeah, so it became
Sometimes.
more. It became, because most of the stuff I go to, it's like a 3-day run. So, like, if I still call it Deer Creek.
Okay.
It's outside of Indianapolis. It's in Fisher, Indiana, I think.
Yeah.
It's had many names, but I still call it Deer Creek. And bands that play there throw down there. And it used to be, because it used to be in the middle of nowhere. There's been so much that's built up around it now. But like that venue has a lore for whether it's Phish or Dead or like Dave Matthews Band even. Like bands, because it used to be in the middle of cornfields, like literally. And so bands would just throw down there, and you camped. And so when Phish plays there, they play there for 3 days. It's just it doesn't make sense if they're just going to go do there one day. If it's not 3 days, it's at least 2 days. So at least it's gotten to that point where like I go see Phish. It's very rare that I just go to like one show in a city. I try to catch like the run.
Yeah.
So where like it's like 2 or 3 shows, and like that adds up, right? And so. I'm proud of that number, and just because it's like what I can like fiscally do and what I'm able to do. But like I wouldn't be proud of that number like on the Phish lot when people are like, oh, I've seen him like 1,700 times, and you're like, man. But like that's what those people do, like
no shame. I just have other things that I want to do.
And dude, I wish I could do that. Like I wish I could like just leave home and like if I was single and didn't have a family, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
I would make a T-shirt or stickers or like something that I could sell on Phish Lot to like make me enough money to get me a ticket or gas money to the next show.
Yeah.
So like I'm proud of that number.
I think you should be.
But I mean, there's people out there that I was like, I haven't even seen 70 concerts.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Phish 70 plus times. I've seen the Dead 25 times. I've seen Dave Matthews Band 40
They're
times.
a fun show.
I mean, I've seen every band that I like. I've seen more than a dozen times.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm very fortunate to like be able to say that. Like I'm like, man, concert going, like I said, man, it's the best version of myself. It's what I like to do. That is my passion.
Yeah.
Because when I'm there, I'm just like, it's hard to explain without sounding so cheesy.
It's church.
But it is church, dude. Yeah.
It's church.
It's church, man. And it's so like...
I almost called when you were like that feeling and you're just at the show and you see everyone smiling. I almost called it the Holy Spirit.
Dude,
because it kind of is.
It kind of is.
And I kind of think it's the same.
Because there are...
But I won't get into that.
Dude, every time... Dude, look, man. Like, I've cried at shows. I've cried. I've laughed. And like not just of what like is going on with like the community around you, the people I'm with. It's what's happening on stage that's hitting me.
You're like, overwhelmed with
like
the
people
Holy
are like,
Spirit.
Dude, are you crying? And I'm like, fucking leave me alone right now. Like I need a minute. And it is. I think the Holy Spirit. That's a great way because it is church. And there's every show that I go to. There's always a moment where like I'm like. You lose your breath and you're taken aback and you're like, man, and you just want to like fold your arms and look around and see how everybody else is feeling, and you're looking at it's like the light show and the music, and it's like a spacey jam or like whatever it is. Like it's ingredients.
Yeah.
And when the ingredients are right, bro,
The chef
the
is cooking.
best. Dude, it's cooking, man. And so like, and that for me is the best high.
Yeah.
Just feeling if like, man, I know it's like
all of that
it's,
energy
dude, just
and
like
vibration.
thinking about it, it's like, man, I need a show. Like,
Yeah.
and there's only so many bands that will do that for me, unless I let some like caught off by surprise. But like, I know if I go see Phish, I'm gonna have that.
Yeah.
If I go see Dave Matthews, I'm gonna have that. If Goose or like all the jammy stuff, like, I'm gonna get that at some point.
Yeah.
And that for me is worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
And it's again, it's more than the men or women on stage. It's the community. It's the people you're with. I'm glad that like my wife loves to go to shows. Okay, I met her at a Phish show. Okay,
Yeah.
my brother who turned me on to Phish. He's my show going buddy. You know, like when he can go these days, it's everything for me when he's there with me.
Yeah,
because
that's
like
awesome.
that's what gave me, that's what fed me that fire.
It's community.
And so when it's like
yeah.
her and him, and you have the one friend who's never been there before, and so you're like,
you get to get them high for the first time.
You're looking at them like, dude, you're gonna fucking your mind. And so it's the ingredients of like whatever's going on, and like the formula that you have kind of like provided, that you've thrown on the table, where you've got it's your show going buddies, the virgin, you know, if you're taking drugs, again, that was me in my 20s, you know. And I see it's kind of a bummer when you go see Phish now, or not just Phish, but any kind of like jam band show. You see these like young college kids that are just there to party, which is fine,
yeah.
you know, and that's fine, and because I was that guy. But then, like, I don't need drugs to get high by Phish or the Dead or whoever it is. Like, it sounds so cheesy, but like, they're providing me that.
Yeah.
They're giving me that high. Like, it's such a, man, it's the adrenaline. It's all of those things. And so it is kind of a bummer when you walk around and you see these like young kids that are like, they couldn't tell you the first Phish song.
They're
it's like,
just
cool,
there.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
that
you're
is a
there,
little-
bro.
Yeah,
I'm happy you're there, but like, dude, they're just there to like find psychedelics and eat mushrooms and
But
like
take a
get
moment
fucked
to
up,
listen to music.
you know. And it's like, you're not here for the right reason, you know. And if you need mushrooms or LSD or pot or whatever it is to like get you to that place of euphoria of seeing a band, then fine. That's okay. I'm not knocking it.
Sure.
That's what you want to do. Everybody has fun different ways.
Yeah.
And I've been that guy. I you know, it's not fun, you know. But I'm at an age now where I'm like, I just have too much to live for now. Not that I'm like, I worry, but it's like, I don't need to do it anymore, you know. And so, I don't know. Man.
No, dude, it is. It's community. It's church. Like that's what church is supposed to be, is community. I mean, well, you know, obviously there's other stuff, but like, you know, it comes down. You don't have a church without more than one person.
You to a thing.
Yeah. The gathering of people is what officially makes something a church, and
dude,
and like that focus. You know, it's just.
And
it's community. It's a community that has its back for each other too.
Man. And again, like, I'm not knocking people who want to go and get fucked up, you know. Like, I don't like to drink a lot of alcohol when I go to shows, because I'm there to remember the show. I want to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to the show a few days from now and be like, man, I don't even remember they played that song. Like, I'm the guy who's like writing down the set list and be like, man, they played this, like, and then I analyze it. Like, I'm a nerd like that.
So that way you're like, I haven't heard this since 2003.
Dude, and of the 70 plus Phish shows I've seen over 30 years, I'm still chasing songs.
I was gonna ask.
And so that's what keeps you bringing it back. It's like, man, they fucking, God damn it, they're not gonna play this, or they played it the night before. It's like, I follow the set list, and it's like, God damn it, they played Harpua last night.
That's what I was about to ask, if you hear from other people, other like the Road Warriors, and you're like, damn it.
It's like they play the song that's good for one every like 7 tours, and you're like, God damn it.
And
like, why couldn't you just wait, man? And it's like, don't you know that I'm coming? Like, it's like you feel entitled to.
Don't you know I've been searching for this song for 28
Dude,
years?
exactly. But like that's the fun of it, and it's the joke, and it's and that's what keeps me coming back. That's why I like going to jam band shows, because it's anticipation.
And you're not going there to hear that song.
No, not at all. I mean, Phish could sing the fucking phone book, dude, and I'm gonna like yell and cheer and scream. Okay.
Yeah. You don't go to church for the sip of wine at the end.
Yeah.
But you look forward to
it. It's cool.
No, just,
yeah.
just gulp. Dude, no, I feel that. I found like the hardcore scene, punk scene, and I loved it, and there's a lot of similarities. And I still love that style of music, but like the first time I ever experienced a jam band, I was like, what have I been doing? And I love to dance. I love to play. Like, I love to hug a stranger, because you're both dancing to this song and you're like, dude, then you let them spin you on the dance floor, and then you're just like, you never talk to them again. It's great. Like, It's just good vibes, good energy. I've like,
yes,
so many places I think are like intimidating, and sometimes I feel like I could name some places, but I'm not going to. Like, where like the moment I walk in, it's a really cool place and I want to be there, but the energy that I'm getting from everyone there feels like I'm not supposed to be, and I have to prove that I am supposed to be there. I don't feel that way at jam band shows.
No,
I don't.
It's like, I'm happy you're here, man.
People might be like, who are you? I've never seen you before.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm Zach. And they're like, welcome. Want to dance?
Yeah, dude.
Like, let's go. Have you heard this
community,
song?
man.
Like it's welcoming.
Yeah,
like,
man,
it's not anything of like, you're not, it's not that you won't run into people like that either, but they're the minority of the people who are being like catty or
sure. And I've definitely been a part of that like atmosphere to show where you're like, man, I feel like people are staring at me, or maybe like, this is a bad vibe, and that's a bummer, because it's like we're all here. We're like, everybody who goes to something like a concert is there for the same reason. It's you're spending your hard-earned money to go to just have a night off of your problems and your just the things of everyday life that you go to escape from.
Dude, it's so drug adjacent.
And
like, as you're saying this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then when you get there and you feel kind of like judged for being there, it's a bummer. It's very rare that I feel that way, but I have felt that way.
It's not,
I have felt that way. It's
but
a bummer.
It is. But luckily, I feel like for the most part, the representation is complete opposite, and I love that. I think that that's so great, and like, I genuinely think that like, am I a diehard fan of any of these bands? Not necessarily, but like, I love the live performances. Like,
see, that's the thing with jam bands. Like, I don't feel like it's hard. It's like, oh, you like Phish? I've been curious about the Grateful Dead or Phish. Like, give me something to listen to, and it's like, dude, that's tough.
Yeah.
You just got to go.
You do.
You got to go and see it, because, again, it harkens back to that sense of community. It's so much more. Like, when you actually go to one of those shows, you feel that it's more than the music, man. It's the crowd. It's the welcome. It's that sense of belonging.
Wait, what was I about to... I can't remember what I was about to ask. Oh, my God. I like plugged that in and I got distracted.
Oh no.
Yeah, shoot. Well, no, but yeah, no, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. But man. Oh, Dirtwire. Have you heard of Dirtwire?
No.
Oh, dude. They're amazing. They play in Louisville pretty frequently. I've seen them at Zanzibar every time. I'll let you know the next time I see that they're in town. They're kind of like country bluegrassy with like You know, they got their weird riffy stuff.
All right.
Seeing them live, dude, it's two guys, and like they've got like instruments that they've invented. Like, there's this
Say
PVC
less.
pipe
Yeah,
that he's
dude.
got like holes in, and like it looks like a duck call. He's got like a duck call at the end of it, and it's wild.
That sounds rad,
It's
bro.
so much fun.
That sounds cool.
It's so much fun. I'll definitely let you know the next time. And like they're the same way where it's like I enjoy listening to their recorded music, but I think having seen them live is what makes me appreciate their recorded music so much because their live performance blows their recordings out of the water, in my opinion.
All right.
But anyways, that's all I've got. Did you have anything for me?
No, man. This has been so much fun. Thank you for being the consummate professional. From welcoming me and inviting me to do this, to your atmosphere, to your format, everything. I appreciate all of this,
dude.
man.
Thank you so much.
I really hope that I have nothing but hopes for you that this is going to be successful for you. So,
you know, and people like you are going to help out there. You know, like we're all a part of this. We're doing this together.
I'm very honored. Like again, this is like an out of body experience for me. So
I want people who want to be on and you know to make important people feel important.
No,
and
man,
you're important.
This is cool. I'm glad. I'm glad our paths met many years ago.
Me too.
You trained me at ATG.
Yes.
So, I think you trained me twice. Well, maybe it was
two out of the three.
2 out of the 3. I think Scoot. I think you trained me once, and maybe Scoot trained me twice. It might have been vice versa. But
I truly can't remember. I remember training you, but I don't. It was eons ago.
Dude, it was eons ago.
Yeah,
such a long time ago.
And then you managed for so long.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if you were even managing when I left the first time. I don't feel like you were.
Probably not.
I think you were just like serving.
I don't think so. I think I was just serving. I don't even know that I'd become a bartender yet by the time.
You definitely hadn't been. You definitely weren't a bartender yet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my schedule was weird when I started there, and so I was like a daytime guy, and so I wasn't like really in with like the in staff.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. I know what you mean.
I mean, it's like everybody. Like working at ATG was like a party that like you're unsure about going to, but when you get there, you know everybody.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, I'm glad I came.
Yeah.
You know? That's what it was like. And so it's people like you, like, man, and like all the post-COVID staff was like really the heartbeat of that place. I'm not taking away from the staff that I managed, you know, pre-COVID, I guess I should say.
Sure.
Post-COVID from the staff that I'm not taking away because that's those people in my family. But it's just different, and I try to like really carry that culture that I learned from and the people that I learned from there. And it was just hard because the landscape of the world was different then, especially with restaurants, and so it was just so tough to get like some of those kids to understand, like, well, man, like you don't even know what this place was like in 2016, man, you know.
But nobody's gonna respond.
No, dude, and then they don't, and then they're just like, yeah, you're right. I don't fucking know what you're talking about, man. And so, but you like have some staff that like live those days too, and there wasn't a lot. Like I was one, and I've got a couple of
Kendrick.
It's like that, like saw both sides of that, like pre-COVID, post-COVID line.
Dude, it was a rough time for everybody.
It was weird.
It's
Devastating, man.
It really was. Like one of my hardest shocks was going back out to like concerts and stuff. It was like hard for me to go into public. It just felt so wrong.
Dude, I tell you, yeah, because I was very like hyper aware. You know, I was one of those like paranoid like people coming out. You know, when you learn about it, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
And then like I remember the first show that I saw coming out of it was Billy Strings.
Yeah.
At the waterfront. And I was spoiled by that because it was like a potted show. Like you buy a ticket, but you bought like you could only have 6 people. Like it was a barricade in your pod, and there was security being like, "Hey, like, do you know this person?" Like, and people were like, "You're like, I don't know who this fucking guy is," and they're like, you know, get out of here. You're not with them. You know, like
that's wild.
You're like ordering your merch through a barcode, and they would like text you to come pick up your stuff from the merch stand. And so, like as a poster guy, I'd be like, I'm like, dude, this is
Pod 68.
This is awesome. I hope every concert I go to is like this, because it's like, you don't get
those
those.
standing in line.
It was so, dude. It was weird. Like looking back on it, it's like, man, this is a trip. and the shows were fire, because like I think the musicians were ready to get back out there and like throw down. So
yeah, dude. Now, well, man, this has seriously been. This is a blast. Thank you for being here.
Oh, dude, pleasure.
And I was stoked when you like, it was like a busy week, but I was like, the moment you had said that, I was like, no, you're coming on.
Oh, dude,
you're coming on. I just needed a little time.
I really appreciate it, man. This has been awesome.
Dude, yeah, no, it has been awesome. And I've got one, going out, for us to go out, I felt like this seemed like a good vibe. Wait. What is... Oh.
You son of a bitch.
Hey, do you know what this song is about?
I know what it's not about.